To me, art means a lot because I personally am an artist, and for me, art is a physical expression of my true self.
Art to me is expression, doing whatever you want, expressing yourself in different ways, such as maybe painting, letters, doing what you want. That's art, and just having fun and just expressing yourself as you're doing it.
I would define art as one's expression of the mind, whether it be photography, whether it be graffiti, whether it be fine art. Yeah.
To me, art is an expression of a person's spirit and their creativity and their thoughts.
Art is pretty much everything that's like in your head, but you pretty much like draw it all out in that's from your mind. It pretty much describes who you are and what you do and what you like, pretty much.
Art is pretty much, freedom of expression. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're in the video, if you're in the painting or drawing, graffiti, whatever you do, you can call it art, as long as it's your passion.
A controversial British graffiti artist appears to have left his mark on San Francisco. He's known around the world simply as Banksy, and his fans are thrilled to see what they believe is his work here.
He's like the Andy Warhol of our generation. He's actually, I think, bigger since he's so international.
It's really cool that he can do something like this and bring it across seas to make people think, because it definitely provokes a thought.
It's pretty amazing just to know that he was here doing this, just a few days ago. Now I'm standing here looking at it myself.
Banksy is one of the most known graffiti artists alive. Even though no one knows his real identity, he is known by his expressive art of political views. Bleak Lorette was one of Bansky's main observers. He was inspired by most of his stencil ways. Banksy puts his pieces on walls as far as the tip-top of buildings, and everyone around the world is shocked and verbal by the way he uses his graffiti. You can rarely find Bansky's work around, but he travels the world putting his messages on walls for everyone to see. Banksy was also featured in the latest film, Exit Through the Gift Shop. This film was known as the world's first street art disaster movie, showing perspectives about graffiti and the artists. The best thing about Banksy is his identity. No one really knows who he is.
Miss Van started to do graffiti in Toulouse, France when she was 18 years old. Famous for her feminine art style, she focused on the inner emotions of her pieces. Her paintings have been shown in New York, London, and even Tokyo. She likes to use acrylic paint over spray cans because she says it feels more comfortable to her. She wants to provoke strong reactions in her audience.
Miss Van got her start in Toulouse, France when she was 18 years old, and she's famous for her feminine art style. She's focused on, mainly, the inner emotion of her pieces. Her paintings have been shown in New York, London, and Tokyo. She uses acrylic paint instead of spray cans, and she wants to show she's boycotting the conventional art world. She wants to provoke strong reactions with her work.
Well, ever since I was a kid, I always saw it around my neighborhood. I always liked seeing people's names out there, the way that they could do it. And I noticed my brother was drawing it at one point, and I asked him what it was, and he said graffiti. And I was like, oh, what was that? And he told me not to worry about it. Then I saw him and his friends doing a mural in San Francisco. So after that, I just really got into it. I always tried drawing after that. Then I remember about 4 years ago, I actually went and tried it out, and after that I just haven't stopped. A lot of people are getting into it just for the simple fact that they think it's cool. They don't really know what it is or what it's about. They just get into it, tag a dumpster here and there, put some graffiti on their backpack, and they call themselves writers when they don't know anything about the game. But that's just the younger people, you know? The older heads, they know what's up. Of course I do. It's what I eat, breathe, and sleep. It's the only thing I'm thinking about 24/7. It's never a day in my life that I don't think about it. Vandalism is something that's done mindlessly and for no reason. I mean, you could go do a throw up or a hit up somewhere on like a roof, maybe a truck, a freeway. They would call it vandalism, but to a lot of people that would be art. But it really depends who you are, what kind of background you're from, and all that. And art, to most people, is like what you could have in a museum, on a canvas, up on a wall, you know? Yeah, I do. Because the way that writers communicate is with tags and doing freeways, doing anything. If you're mad at another person, you usually go over the things, cross them out, something like that, leave a little message. So in many ways it's a way to communicate. Graffiti is something that I've always had, something that I could always go back to, no matter what the fuck is going on in my life. It's something that'll always be there for me, and that's what graffiti is to me.
Graffiti is pretty much my heart, my soul, my body, and mind. It expresses everything from how I'm feeling to everything. Graffiti is pretty much everything to me. Mostly everything. I used to see it a lot when I was a kid, like from probably as early as age 10. And then when I was about 12, I started doing it, some little scribbles, whatever. And then eventually I got better and better, hooked up with a couple people, got me like a lot better. And then just haven't stopped doing it since then. I think it's good when people do murals. I like it better when it's illegal, but you know, people do their thing, they get paid, they get money. I won't normally do that, but that's cool, people do their thing. I think it does. It got me in a culture that took me away from a whole bunch of violence. I could have been a lot worse if it weren't for graffiti. I like the whole culture and everything, that's why I keep living this way. I consider vandalism to be someone probably breaking someone's window, maybe writing on their house, maybe their fence. I wouldn't consider graffiti vandalism. I mean, if I scribe on your window, if I scratch into your window, then that's vandalism, but I really don't care. Like if it's a business, not a house. Because it's like putting myself in the media. I don't need to be some superstar or some person with a whole bunch of money. I could just write my name on the wall and I'm there, people know me. Graffiti is like a expression of the mind. It's not something people do just for fun. I mean, maybe if they're like little kids, whatever, they probably could be, but not the people that are really in it for a couple years or so. Windows or something, but graffiti and art are the same thing, I think.
Graffiti is known for its arts, freedom of speech, and vandalism. Everyone around the world has different thoughts about graffiti. Graffiti has its mysterious ways of finding ways to express itself. It's found on buildings, signs, subways, walls, vacant buildings, and everywhere else. Graffiti has inspired the hip-hop culture throughout the world, and still inspires them till this day. Even though graffiti is harmful in other people's eyes, it still expands the word art everywhere.
Graffiti in the US got its start in New York during the 1960s. Most of the people used water-resistant markers just for writing their names. The subway system in New York was the main place where everyone started tagging their names. Graffiti went from normal tagging to gang-related tagging. Gangs tagging their territory. Most people consider graffiti to be gang-related and unlawful.
It's 6 o'clock, I'm hopping out of the bed. Rain falling, calling X, but my phone line's dead. I guess my bills ain't paid. No ride to work for the day. Second option, hop the bus, but it's a traffic delay. My boss tripping cause I'm running late and ain't no excuse. When I'm about to be 22 without a whip I can swoop. Feel like I'm finna shoot my own dome with prone to escape. Zoning out, cause working out of work what I make. My lady calling, bugging, always fussing. Just cause we ain't ballin', but it's hard because the cousin's fucking rich. Cause her husband's hustling. And I ain't fucking touching nothing but a mic.